Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I've got to get back to writing and so do you. So a couple weeks ago I had a topic that was about kind of beating the odds, right? So I had an author approach me and requested a review and I had to turn him down, and there was a number of reasons why I didn't want to review their work. But when it came down to it, it sounded like they really wanted to have this great successful book, that would, pull them out of poverty and all that kind of stuff. And I talked about the odds of, how much you have to sell in order to really kind of not only break even, but make a profit, make a living, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of books you got to sell. So if one book can't do that for you, the real trick that you have to do in these kind of situations is to be prolific. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of times people think, oh, I just need to write that one book, and it's going to be, my magnum opus, and it will, sell like gangbusters, and I'll never have to worry about money again. Well, that's great. However, what if you wrote another book, and it also sold very well? I mean, that would be great. Obviously, again, I'm talking about numbers here, and, most people aren't going to sell that many books. Even traditionally published stuff is, maybe 10,000 sales for an unknown author, if they're lucky, that kind of thing. So what it really comes down to is being prolific kind of helps keep you in the mind's eye of the public, of the readers. So they're going to forget about you unless you have something new. It's like, I get it. I had 3 years there where, I released a couple books, again, like 10 years ago. I released a trilogy, and then it was probably 3 or 4 years I didn't have anything. And, in that time, now granted I was writing, I was doing, lots of polishing of my craft, getting a lot of stuff down, getting a lot of more manuscripts out there. And so right now I kind of have a backlog, so that, in 2017 I re-released my first books again, just, new covers, kind of a little flashier looking, and then the next year I released a book, and, this year I plan on releasing a book, and next year I plan on releasing a book. So it's like I have that backlog and kind of work through it. And, it doesn't have to be a whole novel, it doesn't have to be a series. I know some people who kind of write a little more professionally than I do, and they'll release like 3 books a year. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I kind of work for a living. And so I've pretty much said, okay, I can do 1 book a year. That's, I can do that. But it's short stories. It's short stories and anthologies. It's, it's those little things that kind of help keep you writing, help keep you out there. But then also don't leave too much of a lag between your projects, so that if somebody really likes your stuff, which is great, you want those people to be, happy that, hey, I've got something new to read from this really great author. That's what you want. You want those people to be satisfied, time and time again. So you kind of got to keep churning out that stuff. Now, granted, I'm not saying, hey, pump out stuff as fast as possible. Kind of release yourself to the quality chains that really need to be on your work, but I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying, hey, still put out quality work, just, put it out on a regular enough basis, just keep writing, just be prolific. Really what it comes down to is, if you look at your work, and in this person's case, they said it took them 13 years to write this book. I'm like, okay, if you want to make a living off of your one book, you gotta take less than 13 years to really get through there. You gotta look at your processes, see what can you make some efficiencies, can you do stuff in parallel, can you work on different projects all at the same time, because yeah, 13, like if it took you 13 years to write and publish a book, people are probably going to forget about you. Unless you're super famous, but the only way to get there is obviously if you're kind of putting enough stuff out there that people can even find you. So, what do you think? What do you think about being prolific as a writer? How much do you think you should put out in a year? Is it 3 books a year? Is it 1 book a year? Is it a couple short stories? Let's discuss down in the comments below. And if there's anything else that you want to talk about in terms of reading, reviewing, writing, any of that kind of stuff, drop a comment below, and maybe I'll feature it in a future episode of Writer Rant. And thanks for watching this episode of Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.